Good morning. This is Angela with today's cup of tea. We are coming to the time of year where we're preparing to come into the next year. Again, and we're also coming into a year that many believe is a very important year in terms of our evolution and on at the world level. My personal feeling is that it started a couple of years ago, so we've sort of blinded ourselves to the fact that we've been going through it, and we're really coming to the crux of it. That's just going to continue going on for probably, I don't know, another decade or so is what I understand. So, but in doing this, what's happening is all of these things are swirling, swirling, swirling. There's all this chaos, there's all this change going on within us and around us. And it's all part of how we manifest it, right? Because we are manifesting around us what's going on within us at the same time. So, as above, so below, at all these levels, things are changing at these dramatic speeds, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Our institutions, our governments, the way we live, the way we look at life, all of this, our sciences, our beliefs are changing so rapidly. So what happens is then people get panicked. We get panicked. We've done such a great job, again, of the ego, allowing the ego to run our existence here at this level of consciousness and on the earth plane, that we allow it then to panic, because then it starts getting this fear of the unknown. It gets this fear of control and lack of control and lack of being able to control the outcome. So what I'm going to talk about today is letting go. And letting go is something I've talked about a zillion times in these webcasts, all these different facets. But my understanding is it's so, so important right now because of the fact of these things are happening so quickly and our changes are happening so quickly. So the first step, we've talked about tapping into our higher selves. Tapping into the higher selves, tapping into Creator, tapping into our guides, and trusting what comes through there without the chatter of the ego, without all the fears and anxieties and all that kind of stuff. Why that's really important is as things speed up even more, as they are doing, we get this contraction. Okay, this tightening of the reins, this tightening of the box, this I want things to be this way. I don't want them to be like all crazy like this. So take a deep breath on that. And here's the thing. Listen to your body for a minute when I say this. Think of the word control and say in the terms, I have control of the situation. Things have gotten under control. I've gotten them under control. How does that feel in your body? When I say it, I literally I could feel the cells contract. I feel my body contract and become more stiff. Because then what's happening is I'm putting this box around that thought. There is a limited path when I try to control things. There is a limited way of doing things when we try to get things under control. We're trying to limit in controlling. How about when I say being fluid? I am being fluid to this situation. I'm being fluid to what happens. I'm being fluid to my highest and best. It actually makes my body feel expansive. It makes me feel like I'm expanding out. So just saying the words themselves create this physical reaction to it. And that's all part of this letting go. This is a huge, huge lesson in my understanding for us. And that is because we have so many layers of letting go, so many layers of trust. I am constantly, constantly changing and expanding and letting go myself and remembering to let go. And some of the things are just so incredible. One thing that I got like a week ago was letting go of what we consider normal. Letting go of that, because when we can let go of that, then we can allow the rest of the universe and the magnificence of all these changes to come into us. And more as we go along, my understanding is things are going to be changing so fast that what we might think is reality today is going to change again tomorrow. Seriously, that quickly. So the key again is staying calm. It's staying connected to the higher self and trusting and letting go and saying this. I am working to my highest and best. I am here to make my heart and soul sing, to fulfill my life's destiny, to reach my personal legend, to fulfill my soul's destiny, way beyond this lifetime, to actually come to the crux of the symphony, the apex of the symphony here, and reach that highest and best, and just be singing from the heart and from the soul. So it's funny, because when we say that, and we say, I can trust that I know what that is. I can trust that my heart will guide me. I can trust that I will get there and do it without trauma, drama, or illness. Now, here's the limitation I put on it. My only limitation is I'm doing it without trauma, drama, and illness. I'm doing it without creating a situation for illustration or experience, and I'm doing it all with ease and grace and balance and harmony and joy and fun and adventure and excitement and humor, because that is the way I prefer to do it. That is the only limitation I'm doing it. But as soon as that I'm putting on it, as soon as we put a limitation on it, though, we are limiting the ways to which we get someplace. And because of the fact that I refuse to do the trauma, drama, or illness anymore, because I know I've done it, I am limiting only in that way. As soon as we say, I have to be with this person, I have to be with this kind of person, I have to be in this kind of relationship, I have to live in this kind of house, in this kind of place, and have this kind of job to be able to fulfill my life's purpose, then guess what you did? You just limited yourself tremendously by saying that. So be careful. Something to be wary of as we create our New Year's resolutions, as we create our vision boards, or whatever you want to call it, to move forward in our self-development. Just be wary of how you're wording your expectations and how you're getting to that personal legend and how you're reaching your personal best. Sometimes it's enough to say, I am going to allow my heart to find what's going to make it sing openly and freely. And that sounds really simple, but what our biggest lesson here again is to say, okay, and I'm going to let go of the reins and allow it to happen. Guess what? The ideas start coming in, synchronicities start happening in your life. You start being in the right place at the right time. And sometimes you might not see it at the moment. Sometimes an association or a certain direction, you might not see what it's doing to help you on that path. But if we let go of the expectation and say, okay, I'm trusting, it's amazing, the synchronicities that happen and how things all tie up and get you on the path on where you need to go. Because then your higher self, a creator, your guides, they all help you all along the way. It's the saying that I talk about from Paul Coelho's The Alchemist is, that when you know your desire, that the universe conspires to help you. Well, that's the whole thing. Well, really, if we truly trust that we're going to reach that personal best, that personal legend, that highest and best, and we let go of those reins and the details and the control of how to limit, how to get there, it'll be amazing that we can get there with speed and grace and ease and fun and joy and all that kind of stuff. That's how we so choose to do it. So that's a lot to think about. There are many facets to this, and I could go into details for hours on what kind of details we're talking about. I mean, this even goes to people who've been doing spiritual healing and intuitive work, and a lot of the stuff I'm doing for a long time, because we all have these expectations, and expectations is control, and expectation is trying to control an outcome. Once we flow, if we allow it to flow, then we have so many different ways of getting there, and we can trust that it's going to get us there in the best and highest and most positive way. So as we look around us and as things continue to be crazy and chaotic, and they're going to speed up even more, when we can let go of the reins and go with the current, that's what that meant. That when I talked about that Hopi quote months ago about letting go of the shore and just going to the middle of the current and going with it and enjoying the ride and being with those who are around you, and saying, and it's the next step of saying, I am releasing my expectations of reality. I am releasing my expectations of what normal is. I am allowing it to flow, and I'm expanding myself to accept all that is. It's amazing, the magic carpet ride we take. But it's amazing how things come together for us too, and how easily we can reach that point while letting go of those egoic fears and anxieties and stuff, and just trusting. Because all of these things that we see, all of these parameters that we see right now, are things that we've put in place as expectations as normal. And so relationships and situations and jobs and living situations are all changing. at this really rapid speed, and it's not bad because it's all good. It's all the way we're doing it. It's just change. It's just change. And so it's panicking the ego. And again, like I said, if we consciously set our intention to let go, let it flow, and allow ourselves to reach that personal legend, and to allow ourselves to have our soul and heart sing, just think of how much fun we can have because we're not trying to control how we get there. So on that, we're going to do the quick clearing for today, which is to get Creator's truth and understanding on letting go and trust, and on trusting the higher self and Creator and our guides of the highest light, and trust of the highest and best intention for us, and that we can work towards our personal legend and understand how to let go of the reins and how to let go of controlling situations. And perception versus reality on that. How to release all beliefs on I must control every step of the way to get where I want to go. Anything related to that. Anything related to any agreements that we have that limit our thoughts, words, and deeds based on that cause beliefs that we have to control, or situations need to be under control. Releasing those beliefs and replacing them with the belief of I can let go to manifest what I want, my desires. I can trust Creator, my higher self, and my guides to get me where I need to go in the highest and best, most positive way, with grace and ease and whatnot. All the feelings associated with that. That you're deserving, worthy, and able to, that it's okay, possible, safe to, and allowed, that you are ready, willing, and able to, and that you have that in your life right now. And pull all the energy and memory of that from the cells, close those receptors, transform them to light, send them back to Creator, open new ones, and just douse those cells with Creator's unconditional love and the highest vibration, and unconditional self-empowerment, and trust, and love, and connectedness. Write-off is done in the Akashic Records, cleared the timelines in all directions to infinity with platinum violet flames, and offered to all ancestors and descendants as they so choose to accept. So all you need to do is clear your mind for all that, take a deep breath, and say yes, letting go. And then I'm going to let you go. Have a great day. We'll talk to you later in the week. This is Angela with today's Cup of Tea.